All right, we're here July 27th, Monday morning. Going to go over a little baseball and a little summary of yesterday. Yesterday we went 2-1, one tennis play, and we split the baseball. Baseball is in a weird time of year right now. You know, it's after All-Star break. Some teams, you know, you could just tell they just don't have the urge like they had before because their season is basically almost over. So you have to be very careful with baseball. Doesn't mean you should just lay crazy pricing, but it's definitely different than the start of the baseball year. You know, and it's obviously this weather is a huge factor. It's hot now. The ball is going to fly more. Definitely see a lot of games, you know, some late runs because just pitchers are, you know, fatigued a little bit and just a little different time of year. But today we got two plays that I mainly like and I'm going to focus on. Some road trips are coming up too, which definitely changes everything. So we'll see what happens with some of that because obviously some of these teams, they struggle on the road, especially traveling from east to west. But we're going to focus on two games today, and the first game we're going to start was the Nationals Blue Jays game. I like the over in that game. The Nationals are going over with a relief pitcher, and Blue Jays have Matt Scherzer coming in. It's actually his 42nd birthday, but even though they may win, I don't see him actually having a dominant performance. He's been on the IL for a little bit, and he's, you know, older now. It's really hot in DC, actually. The Nationals, you know, they've been hitting the ball really well. They've actually been one of the best teams in the first inning that people don't realize to score. They attack hitters. You know, they're a little bit of a sleeper. I don't see them doing much this year. I don't see them, you know, going to the playoffs or anything like that, but I feel like they are a developing team that could have a nice, you know, future going ahead. And I see today that game having a lot of runs. So we're taking the over 9.5. I would take it at 10 at even money. And that's the other thing I'm going to go over in more videos to come, you know, is, you know, obviously like there's a lot of times you see a line like this is 9.5 minus 120, minus 125, and then you see 10 even money, you know, and what's the correct way to bet that? The correct way to bet that is obviously, in my opinion, is to take the 9.5. It's not just my opinion, it's actually a mathematical way, is, you know, to take the 9.5, but also don't be afraid to take a little bit at minus 10, at 10, but even money, because there's no juice at that point. You know, the key is obviously taking the less juice as possible in some of these games. So we're going with that. The other game we're going to take is the Astros. And they're traveling to the Angels today, which is, you know, it's a division game for both of them. But the Astros, I feel like they're at the point where they're, I feel like, going to start to be the Astros that we see late in the year and start to go on a little bit of a run and possibly take that division because Seattle just doesn't want to take it. And they're struggling right now, and, you know, they looks like they're going to continue to struggle. They just can't get over the hump this year for whatever reason. That's just, you know, part of life with sports. So I like the Astros today, minus 110. They've been on they won 4 out of 5. Pretty impressive at home against the White Sox. White Sox have been a great team this year, and I feel like the Astros are definitely going to start going on this run here, and I think they're a very good value. I even took them a little bit to win the AL at 25-1. Again, don't love it, but the number 25-1 for the Astros, which how well they play when the pressure's on and postseason-wise, you got to take it. You're not going to see 25-1 much longer if they continue this win streak. And, you know, like I said, as long as they make the playoffs, I feel like it's a live bet. I feel like the AL is completely wide open this year. NL, obviously, you know, Dodgers dominant as usual, and they are going to be a tough team. But AL is wide open unless there's some big changes coming up, which could happen with the trades, with the trade deadline around the corner. I just don't see, you know, taking a favorite in the AL. I feel like it's just not the play. In my opinion, the Rays are definitely not going to win the AL. If they do, I'd be surprised, and I would definitely favor any National League team over them if it did come to that. So that's it for today's video. We're going to have a lot of tennis plays this week. Tennis moves to DC ahead of the U.S. Open, so we're definitely going to have some good value there. I'm looking at futures in golf for this week's tournament, and obviously horses start back again for Thursday with Saratoga. Anyone that has been following my horses, I look to play big tracks. I look to play tracks that have an advantage. I don't look just to play in small pools, because the bigger the pool, the bigger payout, and that's where the advantage comes into betting horses. You just can't bet these small tracks and small fields if you really want to make money. That's it for today. Common Ace, sign up in Winnable, and let's get some winners ahead of football season.